force your brain to do hard things, listen carefully. Your brain is the most powerful weapon you have, but it's also the laziest. It looks for comfort. It looks for shortcuts. It wants easy wins, but champions, true champions, are not built in comfort zones. They are built in the fire of struggle, in the pain of repetition, in the sleepless nights where your mind tells you to quit, but your heart screams to keep going. When you force your brain to do hard things, you're not just training your mind, you're rewriting your future. Hard is not your enemy, it's your gateway. The moment you step into hard, you step into greatness. Your brain resists because it fears growth, and growth means pain. But that pain is the rent you pay for transformation. The world is filled with people who stop when things get hard. They want success to feel good. They want the path to be smooth, but the path to the top is never smooth. It's steep, it's rough, it's cold, and it's lonely. And only those who train their brain to climb it without a guarantee of applause reach the summit. You can't wait for motivation. You can't wait for the mood. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You must force your brain to get up when it's tired, to focus when it's distracted, to train when it wants rest, and to push when it wants to break. Because that's where the separation happens. That's where average becomes irrelevant. That's where your name starts to carry weight. The brain is like a wild horse. It doesn't want to be tamed, but once you take the reins, it becomes your greatest asset. Stop saying it's hard. Of course it's hard. That's the point. If it were easy, you'd already have it. Hard is the filter that separates the talkers from the doers, the dreamers from the legends. Force your brain to love the hard things, waking up early, putting in the hours, saying no to distractions, sacrificing comfort for progress. The world will always reward the ones who choose the uphill road while everyone else takes the shortcut. When you force your brain to do hard things consistently, life starts giving you what others only wish for. Not because you were born different, but because you trained different, because you dared to be uncomfortable longer than anyone else. Discomfort is the gateway to growth. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your initiation. Every time you step into a space that makes you feel awkward, uncertain, or weak, that's where transformation begins. Your brain is wired to protect you from that feeling. It screams, stay safe, stay comfortable. But safety never made anyone legendary. The reason most people stay average is not because they lack potential, it's because they run from discomfort. They look for the easy lane, the familiar path, the soft pillow for their ambition. That pillow suffocates your greatness. Growth lives in the cold mornings when your body wants the warmth of bed, but you rise anyway. It's in the silence of the gym when no one is clapping. It's in the hours where you feel like quitting, but take one more step. You can't expect to become extraordinary by doing what feels ordinary. The brain must be trained to embrace friction, to welcome resistance like a sparring partner. Every time you choose discomfort, you harden your mental steel. Discomfort exposes your weaknesses. That's a gift, not a curse. How else will you know what to sharpen? How else will you see what still holds you back? The greatest lessons are hidden inside the hardest moments. When you step into discomfort, your mind tries to escape. It invents excuses. Tomorrow will be better. I'll start next week. It's not the right time. Those aren't facts. They're fears wearing a mask. The difference between the ones who rise and the ones who remain is simple. Who can live longer in discomfort without running back to comfort. Who can breathe in the fire and stay still. Your future self is built in the days where you tolerate the stretch. Muscles don't grow in comfort. They tear, they rebuild. The mind is the same. Tear it, stress it, stretch it. Then watch it rebuild stronger. When you start living this way, something shifts. The discomfort that used to scare you starts feeling like home. You stop waiting for easy days and start hunting hard ones, because those are the days that matter. Stop asking for it to get easier. Ask yourself to get stronger. The world won't hand you power because you asked politely. It gives it to those who can take the hits and keep moving forward. Each step into discomfort adds a layer to your armor. Each moment of pain becomes a brick in the fortress of your mindset. This is not punishment, it's preparation. Discomfort will always feel unnatural in the beginning. That's the point. That's how you know it's working. If it feels too smooth, too painless, it's a sign you're not growing. Your brain wants predictability, but predictability kills potential. You need chaos, you need struggle, you need the unknown. That's where champions are made. The gateway is open, but it's guarded by discomfort. Walk through anyway, push when it feels heavy, smile when it feels unfair. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd. The more you run toward discomfort, the less power it has over you. The more you face it, the more you find out who you really are, not who you pretend to be when everything is easy. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. You can't build a life on sparks. They fade when the wind blows. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you moving when everything else tells you to stop. Your brain will trick you into believing you need to feel inspired to take action. That's the biggest lie. If you wait for inspiration, you'll waste years. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline moves regardless. Think of every time you promised yourself you'd start tomorrow. That was motivation talking. And where did tomorrow go? It vanished because you didn't anchor it with discipline. Discipline is boring, but it's beautiful. It's the 5A. M, grind, the meal you didn't want to eat. The reps no one sees. The decision to stay locked in when everyone else is out wasting their time. The brain resists discipline because it's uncomfortable. It means choosing what's right over what's easy. It means saying no to comfort, no to distractions, no to the temporary hit of pleasure. The people at the top are not always the most talented. They're the most disciplined. They built habits so strong they became non-negotiable, even when their mood tried to sabotage them. Discipline builds freedom. Paradoxical, isn't it? The more rules you give yourself, the freer your future becomes. The less you obey your mood, the more your life obeys your mission. Your brain wants to negotiate, just this once, skip it, one day won't hurt. But one day becomes two becomes a week, and suddenly you're starting over again. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up when it's raining, when it's cold, when it's lonely, especially when it's lonely. Motivation is external. It comes from speeches, videos, music. Discipline is internal. It's the voice that says, do it anyway. Train your brain to love the discipline itself, not the results, not the applause, just the act of showing up again and again without the need for a reward. When discipline becomes your standard, your actions stop depending on your emotions. You move because it's who you are, not because it feels good. Discipline rewires your brain. It turns chaos into structure, fear into focus, laziness into legacy. And it all starts with one small act. Do what you said you'd do, no matter how you feel. Stop chasing motivation like a drug. Start building discipline like a fortress. That's where the real power is. Because motivation fades, but discipline stays. Pain is a signal of progress. Pain is not a punishment. It's a signal. It tells you that you are in the zone of change. Your brain misreads it. It tells you pain means stop. But in the world of growth, pain means keep going. You can't transform your life without friction. And friction hurts. It's supposed to. It's the alarm bell of evolution. Think of the hardest workouts you've had, the hardest nights you've endured, the hardest lessons you've learned. They all came wrapped in pain, but on the other side of each, there was growth. The brain hates pain because it wants preservation. It's trying to protect you, but that protection is a cage. You need to rewire the meaning. Pain isn't danger, it's data. It's telling you you're pushing limits, you're stretching boundaries, you're breaking patterns that held you down. People run from pain and wonder why they stay the same. They medicate it, avoid it, numb it. But those who embrace it, who read it like a roadmap, they find the path forward. Pain makes you present. In pain you are raw, you are awake, you are alive. You start seeing who you really are. You'll never hear your brain say, "This hurts, keep going." It will always whisper, "This hurts, stop now." But the moment you keep going despite that whisper, you start building a mind of steel. Pain doesn't last forever. The memory of quitting does. The sting of regret outlives the sting of effort. Start seeing pain as proof that you are on the edge, proof that you're doing what most people avoid, proof that change is happening. When you train your brain to interpret pain correctly, you become unstoppable. You stop waiting for comfort and start moving through the discomfort with clarity. Pain is the price for every upgrade in your life. You don't get new strength, new skills, new standards without paying with struggle. Your brain will scream for relief, but relief is cheap. Progress is priceless. Every champion has scars, not because they were weak, but because they kept going when it hurt. Consistency builds mental armor. Consistency is the unseen weapon of greatness. It's not what you do once that shapes you. It's what you do daily, especially when no one is keeping score. Your brain wants variety, it wants novelty, it wants to escape the grind, but the grind is the forge. Every time you repeat a hard task, you build a layer of mental armor. Each day you show up, even when the results feel invisible, you are hardening your resolve. The brain resists repetition because repetition is slow. It's not glamorous, but it's the foundation of mastery. Consistency rewires the brain. It tells it, this is who we are now, and not sometimes, not when convenient, always. That kind of wiring becomes unshakable. Think about it. Most people can push hard for a day or a week. Very few can keep pushing for months, years, a lifetime. That's why few are remembered and many are forgotten. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about refusing to disappear. It's about being there when the world expects you to quit. It's the daily proof that you mean what you say. Your brain will create stories. You deserve a break. Missing one day won't matter. But one day is the seed of many, and many turn momentum into ashes. When you are consistent, your actions become automatic. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop waiting for the right time, because every time is the right time. Consistency gives you a weapon. Trust in yourself. You know you'll show up. You know you'll deliver, and that belief is priceless. The armor you build through consistency protects you from doubt, from hesitation, from the chaos around you. It doesn't mean the world gets easier, it means you get stronger. Consistency is the quiet killer of fear. Fear thrives in uncertainty. Consistency creates certainty. No matter what, I will keep moving. The ones who quit will tell you it's okay to slow down, to relax, to give yourself a break. They want you to match their rhythm because they can't match yours. Every rep you do when no one is watching, every night you stay the course while others drift, every morning you get up because it's the standard, not because it's fun, adds another layer to that armor. And when life throws chaos your way, that armor doesn't crack. It absorbs the hit, it carries you forward. Consistency makes hard things feel normal. What used to be impossible becomes your baseline. That's when your brain stops being your enemy and starts being your ally. not because it changed, but because you taught it to obey the rhythm of greatness. Sacrifice comfort for future power. Comfort is a trap. It feels warm, it feels safe, it feels earned, but it steals your edge. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you trade your future for the present. Your brain craves comfort because it feels like survival. It tells you, rest now, enjoy now, take the shortcut. But shortcuts rob you of the journey that builds the strength to hold power. Power doesn't come to the comfortable. It comes to the ones willing to suffer now so they can command later. Sacrifice is the tax on greatness. It's saying no to the party so you can train. It's saying no to the luxury now so you can build an empire tomorrow. Your brain won't clap for sacrifice. It will fight it. It will call you crazy, call you obsessed, but that obsession is the seed of something massive. Sacrifice is lonely because few are willing to pay that price. They want results without giving up anything. But the world doesn't work that way. Every comfort you cling to becomes a chain. Every sacrifice you make becomes a key. When you start trading comfort for growth, you feel the pull. The nights are longer, the days are heavier, the rewards are distant. But that's the grind's contract. You sign it before you get paid. Comfort is the killer of hunger. Sacrifice feeds it. You can't ask for strength while choosing weakness. You can't demand freedom while embracing chains. Your brain will tell you that comfort is peace, but it's not peace, it's delay. It's the pause before the regret sets in. Sacrifice is the language the future understands. It sees what you gave up and hands you what you deserve. The world will call you extreme for sacrificing comfort, but one day, that same world will ask you how you did it. Sacrifice is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and that bridge is never built in ease. If you want power tomorrow, bleed comfort today. Train when you don't feel like it. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a perfect mood. If you only train when you feel like it, you'll lose to the one who trains when they don't. Your brain wants alignment between mood and action. That's weakness. Real strength is acting despite the mood, not because of it. The greatest breakthroughs come on the days you least want to show up. Because that's when the gap widens. Others stay home and you put in work. The body complains, the brain whines, the heart whispers, go. Who you listen to determines your future. Training when you feel like it is comfort. Training when you hate it is character. There's no growth in waiting for a feeling. The feeling comes after the action, not before it. Your brain will try to bribe you. Rest now, do it later. But later is a graveyard for discipline. Every session you complete on a bad day carries twice the weight. It's not just physical. It's a signal to your brain that you are in control, not it. When you do this long enough, something shifts. The days you hate become the days you crave, because you know that's where the gap is created. Stop expecting to love the grind every day. Love the result of not quitting. Training when it's easy makes you good. Training when it's brutal makes you unshakable. You'll remember the tough sessions more than the perfect ones, because those are the ones that shape your identity. Every time you win against your mood, you weaken its grip. Show up, even when the storm is loud. That's how you become the calm inside it. Train when you least want to. That's where greatness lies. Fear is the doorway to mastery. Fear is a teacher dressed as a threat. Your brain reacts to fear by pulling back, by retreating. But fear is the compass. It points to the places you must go. Every fear you avoid becomes a wall. Every fear you face becomes a door. The path to mastery is lined with fears. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being exposed as not enough. Those fears are invitations, not warnings. Your brain will create stories around fear. It will exaggerate it, make it bigger than it is. That's because fear is its favorite tool of control. Mastery is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move through it. Every time you step toward what scares you, fear loses its weight. It doesn't vanish, it bows. Fear is a signal, this matters. That's why your brain reacts. It knows this choice can change you. Run from fear and you'll live small. Walk into fear and you'll live unforgettable. Fear sharpens your senses, it makes you alert, it makes you alive. The ones who hide from it also hide from their potential. Your brain thinks fear is danger. Most of the time, it's only discomfort wearing a mask. Start treating fear like a doorway. Knock on it, open it, step in. The first few steps will shake you. Then you'll realize there was nothing inside but your reflection waiting to grow. The more fears you face, the more fearless you become, not because fear disappears, but because your courage outgrows it. Fear protects mediocrity, courage protects mastery. Every legend had a moment where fear told them to stop. They didn't, and that made all the difference. Hard now, easy later. Life is always making deals with you. Suffer now or suffer later. Work now or regret later. Choose your hard. The brain wants the easy now because it feels good in the moment. But that pleasure has a debt, and the interest is regret. Hard now means you pay up front. You sweat, you grind, you sacrifice. And that payment buys you freedom, buys you peace, buys you a future others can't touch. Easy now means you live for the moment. You take the shortcut, you dodge the struggle, you keep the comfort. And later, life collects. It collects through missed chances, through bitterness, through wishing you could rewind. Your brain is short-sighted. It wants the quick hit of satisfaction. It struggles to see the long game. That's why you must force it to see the exchange. One hard season for a lifetime of strength. Hard now is the seed of easy later. Easy now is the seed of hard later. Every morning you wake up with a choice. Pay the price today or pay the penalty tomorrow. The path is hard because it has to be. It filters the uncommitted. It removes the impatient. Easy roads don't lead to strong destinations. When you train your brain to love the hard now, you start winning by default, because most people won't join you there. Hard is not permanent, it's a phase. It breaks, it bends, it eventually rewards. Easy feels permanent until it turns into chains. Choose the struggle that builds you, not the ease that rots you. Hard now isn't punishment, it's preparation for a life most people will never experience. You've heard the truth. Not the easy version, not the sugar-coated lie. The real truth. Your brain will never hand you greatness on a silver plate. It will fight you, it will tempt you, it will whisper excuses until you drown in them, unless you rise up and take control. This is not about talent. This is not about luck. This is about will. The will to wake up when comfort says sleep. The will to keep moving when the world slows down. The will to do hard things over and over until your brain has no choice but to obey your vision. Every day you delay, you feed weakness. Every day you show up, you feed strength. There is no neutral ground. You are either building your mind or breaking it. The road is not supposed to be soft. It's supposed to test you. It's supposed to demand a version of you that you haven't met yet. That version is born in the grind. Force your brain to obey the mission, not the mood. Force it to respect discipline, not desire. Force it to walk into the fire, because the fire is the only place you'll forge a name that echoes. The world doesn't remember the ones who played it safe. It remembers the ones who were willing to suffer now so they could own tomorrow. You want ease, stay where you are. You want legacy, do the hard things when it hurts. Your future is waiting, and it doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about your execution. From this moment forward, stop asking for the path to be easy. Ask yourself to be relentless. Stop waiting for motivation. Build discipline. Stop fearing hard things. Hunt them. Because once you force your brain to do hard things, there is no limit left. Only levels. Only greatness. Only the life that comfort promised you, but never delivered. So stand up. Start now. Push when it's heavy. Move when it's dark. And don't stop. Not until your brain learns the truth. You're in charge, not it.